Well, welcome to another First Pour series tonight. Four Roses Single Barrel. No, not this one. The new ones. The OBSF, the OESK, and the OESO. Difference? I'm not doing them. In fact, I've got a fill-in. I've got a guest reviewer, actually two. Daniel and Jamie from the Appalachian Bourbon Society are going to give you the full rundown on all three of these brand new single barrels from Four Roses. And no worries, the wonderful world of bourbon hasn't gone anywhere. We're still making episode 2. In fact, we just did a barrel pick and we wanted to make sure we got that in the show. So come back next week for a new episode of the wonderful world of bourbon, and we're going to show you the behind the scenes of a barrel pick. But right now, sit back and enjoy this Four Roses single barrel review. Cheers.
Hello and welcome back to the Appalachian Bourbon Society Bar. Tonight we're diving into the fascinating world of Four Roses single barrel 100 proof bourbons. Let's get into it. So Four Roses has always had their standard OBSV single barrel release that was introduced in 2004, and that's been their flagship single barrel since then. But in 2025 they have released 3 additional recipes in the 100 proof single barrels. Do you want to tell everybody what we got on the table?
Sure. So we are going to start off tonight first just by explaining that Four Roses has updated their labeling. So we could tell now that this one is the OBSF. And then we're going to have the OESK. And finally, the OESO.
So do you know what all those letters stand for?
I actually do. So the first letter,
Look at this, she's trying to show out tonight.
the first letter is the distillery. So we know the distillery is Four Roses. The second letter is going to let you know the mash bill, whether it's a high rye versus a low rye. The third letter lets us know that it is a straight bourbon. And finally, the last letter is going to let us know what yeast strain was used.
You studied for that, didn't you?
Just a little.
You done good, you done good. So if you look at the back of the bottle, we'll start with the OBSF. It says delicate rye, apple, mint, clove, and cocoa. Now, the B is going to be the high rye mash bill, and the E on these two is going to be the low rye mash bill. So you want to start tasting these? Let's see what we think.
Sure. We're going to start with OBSF.
OBSF, yep. And we'll just work our way down the line. Definitely some chocolate.
Definitely get the sweetness off of it.
It's like
A little bit of a fruity. And just a hint of the, as you said, the clove. And I was getting the spice. I couldn't tell you exactly what the clove scent was, but definitely getting the spice on it.
There's a little bit of spice. It's not a lot.
No, it's not overpowering at all.
Let's taste it.
Let's go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Still definitely getting the fruit and the chocolate on it.
Yeah, spice hits you up front though, right on the front of the palate.
It does.
And that's that high rye mash bill coming out right there on the front of the palate. Pretty good mouthfeel for 100 proof, and a pretty decent finish there.
It definitely is. A little bit oil, so it lingers a little bit.
Yeah, a little viscous. What tastes are you getting on the palate though?
Definitely, like I said right to begin with, I definitely got the fruit note on it, or taste on my palate, and just a hint of the cocoa, not strong.
What kind of fruit?
I don't know, it's not really the apple to me, like they're notating. I'm not getting the apple. More like a I don't know. I'm trying
Yeah,
to.
I'm not getting the apple
I'm
on
not
it
getting
either.
the
That's
apple.
why I asked you what you were getting before I said anything. I don't get the apple. There's definitely some fruit sweetness there, but I wouldn't say it's apple to me.
No,
But,
it's a sweeter.
yeah. But everybody's palate's different. Everybody's going to get something different. But that's tasty.
It's very good.
So next up we have the OESK, and if we read the back of the bottle for it, it says baking spice, mellow oak, tea leaves, and caramel. So that's their tasting notes. Let's give it a try. Tell me what you get.
That one definitely smells sweeter right off the bat. I'm not getting any spice on that.
That's a lot sweeter
Lots.
on the nose, yeah. No spiciness there.
No, not on the nose.
Definitely some caramel, some brown sugar.
I'm getting a little bit of the oak, but it's not overpowering.
Yeah, there's a little bit of oak there. Coats the glass pretty good. Let's give it a taste.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Now I do get the spice on the palate immediately.
But it's not up front like this one.
No, it's more in the
towards
back.
the mid to back of the palate before it hits you.
Yes.
But it's good. Definitely get the oak on the back end of the palate as well. And there's that baking spice is there. Anything else?
I like the sweetness. I'm not really getting any fruit hints on this one. I'm not sure. I don't drink tea, so I don't really feel like I'm getting the tea notes. What about you?
I was gonna say, I love sweet tea, but that's my favorite. It's almost, I think it's there, but it's very, very faint. It doesn't stand out. You really got to be searching for it to find that tea in there. But if you don't drink tea, I don't think you'll ever pull that tasting note out of there.
I don't feel it either.
I definitely get the baking spice, I get the oak, and a little bit of caramel. But the tea, I'm really searching to get that.
The caramel's faint too. I've got more of the sweetness on the nose than I did on the palate.
Yeah, I agree with that. So up next, you want to read the back of that one? Tell everybody what it says?
Sure, so we have the OESO, and it is telling us it is a rich red fruit, vanilla, brown sugar, and a delicate oak.
So I don't know if I said it, but both of these are going to be the low rye recipe indicated by the E there. So both of these are going to be low rye, but let's give her a taste. I was excited when I heard Four Roses was releasing some additional single barrels.
And they're gonna be doing this a few more times, correct?
Yeah, so supposedly they're releasing these 3 this year, more next year, and then I'm assuming they will release 3 more in 2027, so you have all 10 of the recipes eventually. Now what I was curious to know, and I don't know the answer to it, I haven't seen it anywhere doing any research online, are these going to be available after this year? So are these 3 released this year, and then after this year they're disappearing and 3 more is coming out? Or are these 3 going to stay on the shelf with the additional for next year?
That's a good
That I don't know. So.
And definitely, I mean, so far from what we've tasted, we haven't gotten to this last one, of course, but
I'm going for
but
it.
these are all in the $50 price range. So
Yeah, they're all $49.99 suggested retail price. So
I do get the sweetness.
Oh yeah, you get the sweetness again up front.
The vanilla hits
Yep, this is more
very
vanilla.
more forward.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of spice there on the nose as well.
Just a little.
Baking spice.
I'm not getting the oak on the nose.
No. Let's taste it.
It smells
Cheers.
great. Cheers.
You do get that spice about mid-palate again. It's not up front. It's about mid-palate. You get that spice. There's definitely a little more oakiness on that one to me than the other, the previous one, the OESK. That oak's a little more present.
I agree with that. I'm torn now because I don't know, I'm usually a lower rye person, so now I'm kind of torn between the two of which one I liked a little bit better. I feel like this one was a little bit more spice forward than the other one.
Yeah, that spice is there. Definitely some pepper spice, bacon spice.
And like some dark cherry in there.
Yeah. I can see dark cherry.
Sorry, I gotta taste the other one again.
You trying to figure out which one you like better?
I am. And I think it's gonna be the OESK.
All right.
For me.
I'm gonna do like you. I'm gonna go back through. I'm just gonna put my glasses in line. One more sip of each here. Should have cleansed my palate there before I went back through each one. So which one's your favorite? I'll let you go first.
My favorite was definitely the OESK. It was just, for me, a little bit less spice forward. It had a little bit sweeter profile to it, so that was definitely my favorite.
So I'm going to agree with you. That's definitely my favorite. It's the OESK. You do get that sweetness up front. It's just really good mouthfeel. For 50 bucks, that's going to be hard to beat in my opinion. If you ask me for my second place, we would go to the OESO, and then the OBSF would be third. But now, said that, I could sit down and sip all three of these and enjoy them.
Absolutely.
For 50 bucks, I'd be happy with all three.
So if you find these in your store, they're definitely a buy.
Yeah, I'd definitely buy all three of them. Of course we did, we got them sitting here, but yeah, I definitely recommend picking them up if you see them in your store. Now, I have seen them priced higher than $49.99 in our area, so shop around. I paid $49 for these. I have even seen them since I bought these for $47 in a couple spots.
Yeah, we have.
So we saw those.
And I was just going to add, we looked up and found all three of these in the same store. Now, I have seen that some stores will right now only have one or the other.
Or they'll have two, but not the third one.
Correct. So we just looked up and found the store that had all three of them at the same time.
But you can find all three in North Georgia. So there's our review of the Four Roses 100 Proof Single Barrels. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please click that like button, subscribe. And always, please drink responsibly, never drink and drive. Cheers, till next time.
Cheers, see you next time.